Hello, and welcome to Andrew Broussard Watercolors. Today, I wanted to show you some dry point etchings and prints that I made last night using a new press. And while I show them, I want to go through and number them, sign them, and label them with the title. But first, I have my wall ever sharp, so this is just a antique vintage fountain pen. It takes 1.1 lead, which is no longer made, but the legendary lead company that I've talked about in the past has tons of lead in stock for it. And I'm using the wet noodle, which kind of has a lot of line variation to it. And it's kind of what I want to use to sign it. But my handwriting in the script isn't the best, so I'm thinking maybe more of a flourished, just kind of a print style. Saint Mary Mag. I gotta make sure I spell it right. Saint Mary Magdalene, and then I would maybe number on the left. I think there's 9. I'll have to check when I have 9, and then maybe I could fit my signature underneath. Or maybe have my signature on this side. I'm really not sure what's customary. I actually picked up some etchings, some prints from an antique shop, and I went and checked them and saw where all that was numbered. And it had some numbering on that side. It said like NO number. And I guess it was a really long run, so it was like 596 or something like that. I only did, I believe, 9. The dry point breaks down a lot quicker than other printing processes. And I believe the signature was here, so maybe I'll do it that way. Okay. So, that being said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I did different inks and different toned paper, so you'll be able to take a look and see that. So I'm going to do the St. Mary Magdalene right in here. The title of it. All right, so if I go on either side right there, that looks about good. This is going to be my kind of artist proof. I believe I just do AP, add AP artist proof for that. And I'll sign down in here. Now, this is, I believe, the Stonehenge drawing paper, the kind of cream toned. The drawing paper is a lighter weight than the watercolor paper, I think 90 pound. And I used the, this was the red oxide. And I kind of really just enjoy that color, so I played around with that. But I did use some different colored inks, so you'll see that in a few. And you'll also see the different papers that I used. This one, I was playing around with the machine. I'm using a Bira 9-inch die cutting press, which I'm just stacking up paper, putting a blanket on top, and putting the wet paper against my my etching. And here's my etching right here, and rolling it through there. Really relatively easy process, and I kind of got the hang of the machine after a while. So I believe this is my second one. I must have just had it dialed in at this point. You can see that nice embossing from the plate, and I really enjoy that effect. And underneath a mat, it should show. And I did that just so that people kind of know what it is, rather than me going to a copy shop and having prints made that it's prints. So let me sign this one and then I'll talk about the next one. So this is Saint Mary. Now, I live in a town in Louisiana called Abbeville in Vermilion Parish. And it was founded in 1850. So 18 military time and standard time is 6 o'clock. So I put the clock to 6:50 and I have the light coming from the left the evening. So hopefully people that are locally that see this might catch the reference. We'll see. I should have said that there was a hidden meeting just now right here, but I know there are some locals that watch my videos, but I figured that was like a fun little Easter egg to hide in there. And this is, since I did 9 altogether, the one was the artist proof. This is going to be 1 out of 8. This again is the same paper. I didn't really start seeing any degradation of the plastic plate itself. You can see how I had to cut it, and in some areas the plexiglass cracked, so it caused that effect, which I'm really not too concerned about. I think it just adds some interesting character to it. I did do some scratches, lines in the sky. In future ones, I'll probably avoid that. I was looking at Rembrandt, and I hadn't realized how much of a prolific printmaker he was. I just never studied printmaking, and now that I'm playing around with this technique, the block printing and the monotype, you know, you just start researching it more. Prior to that, I would just simply read that a lot of the historically famous artists got their start as apprentices doing etchings of famous works, and you know, that's where they learned their skills, their techniques and everything, and then from there moved on to whatever art medium that they moved into. I think Turner might have started out in that regard. St. Mary Mag. This is 3 out of 8. And we have Andrew Broussard. The next one's on different colored paper, so we'll compare them before I sign them. At first I thought this was kind of a blue, but when I looked on Blick for their drawing papers, they don't list a blue, so this might be their steel gray. I wound up placing an order for more of this paper. I might get more of this one. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the light red oxide on top of it. Let me know what you think. But then at this point, I think I switched to the carbon black. So you see the next ones with carbon black. And I do have a different colored paper that I printed on top. That being said, at this point, if you want to, it's always kind of good time to give my spiel. If you want to support this channel, all of the income goes to art supplies, whether it's paper for the watercolor, different types of art supplies to explore and then film and review, and yeah, and that just kind of helps out. So anything is Greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those of you that have sent the super thanks on YouTube. So this is 4 out of 8. But yeah, so I mentioned Rembrandt, and he kind of left his skies blank in all the etchings. And there was like little blurbs that I was reading from art critics, and they were saying how that really helped obtain the concept of vastness within these small prints that he was doing. He was working, I think, 6x8 in an etching book that I had found in the school library. They had a self-portrait of his, and it said that it was real size. So he was doing self-portraits that looked fantastic. The stuff that we see were actually really small. So this is switching from the light red oxide now to the carbon black. I found that the carbon black works better than the bone black. And this is the Akua Inks, which clean up really well, but I do get it all over my hands and get it everywhere. I think it's just prone to being a messy process. And you can see I have to soak my paper, and me pulling the paper out that I was getting ink on that. This is what I do is I take my palette knife, grab a little bit of ink on it, use that to just kind of get a lot of gunk on. Then I think traditionally people use newspaper to kind of go in circles and kind of make sure it's getting into your cuts and your scratches. And then from there, wipe off the non-scratch surfaces. You can leave that there for the effect if you wanted to have some tonality there. The bone black is probably conducive to that because it's slightly transparent, but that's definitely exploration down the line. I feel like my growth in learning the medium is working, and I'm really excited. And a lot of this is either YouTube videos. There is a Facebook group that talks about using the die cutters, the craft presses, as the etching press. And there's, I wish I had the name of the lady because I have to always kind of Google it, who compares 6 different die cutting machines for etching and for a process called coleograph. And she compares the adjustable ones, there's 3 in the video, and ones that are just set and you have to build up the height to build the pressure. And it gives you a good idea. So this one, I went with a 9-inch press, the Bira one, which cost me about $138. Bira is running a sale right now before Halloween, like 10% off. So if you like this, I think that that's a good way to go. The spaghetti press was nice to start out, but the consistency that I'm getting with the pressure here is definitely worth the difference. So jumping up from a $27 spaghetti press that limited my size to a $138 wider press that is heavy and stainless. It feels like there's a lot of steel parts on the inside. Was definitely the way to go. So black on the gray paper. I'm just going to refer to it as the steel gray. I think they have a warm gray and a cool gray. It's hard for me to compare, like find the differences between those two, especially on the swatches on the website. So that's kind of the best I can really offer in that regard right now. But the last color that I wind up using, I think you'll really enjoy. So yeah, carbon black on the gray. I might have messed up my numbering. Did I mess up my numbering? 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 twice. I have to fix that. Because I had pulled some out to compare them to each other. And that messed up my order. So I did 4 twice. 6. I do wonder if these type of things should be done in ink, the labeling and the signing, but I truly enjoy the butteriness of this wet noodle lead, and I feel it's reminiscent of the fancy dancy signatures that I would see on photos and art. This one, I think, just going back to the gray and just checking to see, not the gray, the white or the cream, just to check to see what was going on. These are all kind of prepared to be cropped underneath a 8x10 opening mat. And this last one is the same brand of paper, but this is their craft color, and I think that just came out super, to use the language of my students, super legit. I'm really really excited about the way that paper came. That being said, I'm gonna have to order some more of this for drawing purposes. I never really went down that path with this colored paper, but it's really great. There's also a gentleman that I had friended on Facebook who is using the craft paper to build up these fantastic charcoal landscapes that just look so realistic. And I guess it's a good medium tone starting point from to go in both directions. So 3 papers side by side. So you can kind of see a comparison of them. Let me know what you prefer and what you enjoy. That's the 3 papers. See, I keep on switching up the order of them. Let's compare the 2 kind of Conte light red oxide. As you can tell, it's up my alley, color scheme wise, and I personally enjoy a lot of the monochromatic and the historical colors. So there you go. That's the paper. This was what I etched, which was just, I think, some sort of plexiglass I just picked up at Hobby Lobby. They sell specific plates for this purpose. They also sell metal plates for it. I picked this up. It's a roll of copper sheet. I don't know if it's thick enough or not, but I might cut some of that up and try it out. The different metals degrade at a different rate. I think there's copper, tin, aluminum that are the traditional ones, and I think at most, maybe like the best ones, you can get 50 prints out of. It's just a very limited run process, so that's something I'm going to experiment with. And at first I had experimented with the inside of Coke cans, which was aluminum, but from there we'll see. I don't have my tools on the table, but I just have a simple metal scribing tool that I bought. The cheapest you can find is one on Amazon for maybe $7 or $8 if you just looks for metal scribe. I took some razor blades, scalpel blades, and glued them together. And my more denser areas, I put them inside a extended pencil holder and glued them in there for me to get that cross-hatching effect to make things a lot easier. That's that whole swipe across the bottom is using those. So overall, I'm really, really excited about this process. I do have a big market coming up. I had a farmer's market yesterday that was a complete flop, like just nothing sold. But there's been homecoming events and all these other things. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you would like to see. Let me know what you'd like me to talk more about with this process. I'll use the machine for the mono type, and we'll see how that works. And I'll also play around with the copper sheets. But if there's things you'd like to see, just let me know. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you all soon, and have a great day. Bye.